All right. Hello, everybody. It's your boy, the Puerto Rican Prince, D-Trill. These videos typically do well, the bracket videos, and it's fun because I like the artist. I like doing it. So I've done a Kendrick Lamar and I've done a Tyler, the Creator one. Those have both done pretty well. So we're going to try our hand with Drake. And coming up, we also have A$AP Rocky. We have Kanye West. You just put suggestions down low and I'll find one somewhere and we'll do it. But this is the Drake one. This should be interesting because I know a lot of Drake songs, so for me to put one over the other might be kind of tough, but I'm excited for it. All right, so without further ado, let's do it. Let's get into it. All right, 5 a.m. in Toronto versus Back to Back. The fact that Back to Back is a 16 seed going against the 1 seed is kind of crazy. Like I can't even front. That song definitely doesn't deserve to be 16, and 5 a.m. in Toronto, that's like not even. It's not even close. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just not. Over versus The Motto. Over is like a fun song just because it's like old Drake. And every time I think of old Drake, I just think about how goofy he looked without a beard. So that's always fun. The Motto is a classic though. Like YOLO. YOLO came up out of The Motto and it sucked. But The Motto, I'm gonna give it to The Motto. I'm gonna give it to The Motto. And I feel like I'd bump The Motto a little more than Over because Over's a cool beat, but I don't know. The Motto's just different. Anyways, Company versus 10 Bands. Company's cool because Travis is there, but other than that, I don't really love that song that much. And 10 Bands I love that song. And it's off a great album. Headlines versus Light Up. Headlines definitely, although I do love Lights Up. It's very good. But Headlines is just that typical like 2012 lead single for Drake. Like that's just, I don't know. Anyways. Hate Sleeping Alone versus Worst Behavior. Worst Behavior is cool, but he did like not bite a whole verse, but he kind of paid homage to it, and it's not so much originally written. He just kind of read around it. And Hate Sleeping Alone that's we all hate sleeping alone, don't we? Yeah, of course. Too Much versus Portland. Wow, Portland is kind of low on here. Maybe New Drake is just not hitting the same in terms of all time. Probably not, to be honest with you. But once the new Drake songs come in, that's gonna be. Is it even here? Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of new Drake, so. Too Much versus Portland. Definitely Too Much. Sampler's just fire. Like there's really nothing else to do that. It's a great hook. Look What You've Done versus Successful. Okay. Look What You've Done is just personally a favorite song of mine just because I love the piano chords on there. I feel like it's just beautiful. The piano keys are wonderful. Trey Songz is beautiful and successful. And depending on which version you listen to, if it's got Wayne on it or whatever. But I don't know. I like Look What You've Done just personally better because I feel like there's a lot of storytelling in that you don't typically get from new Drake. It's just the trademark of old Drake. And well, that's older Drake, but anyways, Look What You've Done advances. Days in the East versus One Dance. Days in the East because that Town Hall dance era that Drake had, I don't know. You know what I mean. It wasn't much to it. Marvin's Room versus Controlla. I do like Controlla, but come on now. Come on, man. Remember Who Made You Cry. Take Care versus Too Good. Take Care, definitely. I like Too Good, but Take Care was just that's the OG collab. Besides the other Rihanna song, but on Drake album, that's the OG, and that one's just better. It was a huge radio song, and then when that was coming out, that was kind of like an era where I was listening to like mainstream radio because I didn't have a say in what would be on the radio, so that would come up. I'd be like, wow, I got Drake on here, so it's crazy. Connect versus 4 p.m. in Calabasas. They spell Calabasas wrong. I really just, whoever did this, come on now. How do you not know how to spell Calabasas, but you know how to spell Drake? Ridiculous. Connect. Swangin'. Fancy versus, what? How is that song 13? That's all I want to know. How is that song 13? Because I know it's not 13. I know it should not be 13. So that's crazy. I don't. That's a tough one. That's tough. We'll come back to that. I'm skipping that forever. I was looking at Wu-Tang Forever. Well, that loses because Free Smoke should definitely be longer than what it actually is. Know Yourself and Miss Me. Ooh. I'm gonna go Know Yourself. I just it's just the B drop in that song. That lives on. Girls Love Beyonce versus Legend. Girls Love Beyonce. I do like Legend a lot, but I feel like in Legend, where the beat kind of builds up and there's all this anticipation, I feel like there's no payoff. I think we're all looking for like a big beat switch or like something. It kind of just like teeters on. You know what I mean? Girls Love Beyonce is one of my favorite songs growing up, so I'm biased anyways. Doing It Wrong versus Draft Day. I gotta go Doing It Wrong. That boy got a 3 stacks verse. Like you can't hit that. All right, Fancy versus that. I don't know. I feel weird saying the whole name of the song out just personally. Oh my god, dude, that's I'm doing it. Don't yell at me. Dude, it in every one of these brackets, which is why it's so fun. There's a matchup that shouldn't be, and if they were on another side of the bracket, they would go so far. So I mean, I really hate to. I can't do that though. I can't, like, because that's gonna whoever wins that might nah. Anyways, all right. To this side, I'm sorry if you disagree. I probably agree with you. Tuscan Leather versus Best. What? Huh? Best I ever had 16? Huh? No way. No. That's not fair. That's not fair because we got an upset. We got an upset. That's not fair. I love Tuscan Leather. Like the same thing I just said over there applies right here. That's BS. I don't like that. But best I ever had. You can't. That's the Drake song. Tuscan Leather is great too. Like that's not fair. Shot. Wow, that pisses me off. Shot for Me versus Do Not Disturb. I like Shot for Me, but he's doing all that talking at the end. So Do Not Disturb, and I love the Georgia, or not Georgia Smith. I'm sorry, because I love her. Snow Allegra. The Snow Allegra sample over there is beautiful. Trust Issues and I'm Going In. Trust Issues, yeah. I'm going Trust Issues. It's like the typical like Drake singing voice. Trust Issues. Oh, oh. That's every Drake singing song. So I have to go with the culmination. Pound Cake and Paris Morton Music 2 versus Faithful. We're not gonna waste much time on that one. The Real Her versus Six Man. Oh, that's tough because 2 girls and they get along like I'm Lou. Lou did have 2 girls. That's crazy. The Real Her. Wait. I mixed up The Real Her with Doing It Wrong. So, my bad. My bad. The Real Her advances just based off my own buffoonery. Sorry, Six Man. Sorry, Lou. 0 to 100 versus Energy. 0 to 100. That's another really close one. They're 2 very similar songs from the same era, so that's tough. But I gotta go 0 to 100 like that. That was on a Sprite commercial. The picture in the middle should be Drake just blown up in Sprite form from that like 2010 commercial instead of whatever. I don't know. Do you think Drake has ever used a gun? Like ever brandished an actual firearm? Let me know down below. Find Your Love versus Crew Love. Definitely Crew Love. Even though Find Your Love was a classic summer song. I better find your love. No, I like Crew Love. Crew Love is way better. And then Jungle versus Started From the Bottom. I like Started From the Bottom, but Jungle is one of my favorite Drake songs ever, and I'm glad it's number 2. So, sorry. Lord Knows versus Sneakin'. They got Sneakin' right at the peak of 21 Savage's hype in the beginning. Like when everyone started finding out about him, then Drake put him on there, and it was a big song. That was a good song too. But Lord Knows, that's unbeatable. unbeatable with the beat. It's such a Rick Ross beat, and then Drake went crazy. Don't get me started. 6 p.m. in New York versus From Time Chi. I only say From Time Chi because From Time Chi. Yeah, From Time Chi. 6 p.m. in New York is cool. They got that Tiger disc, but yeah, From Time Chi. 9 a.m. in Dallas versus Hold On, We're Going Home. Wow, I actually don't really like either of these songs, to keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna just go 9 a.m. in Dallas, and whatever comes out of here is probably gonna beat them. Yeah, Cameras is beating that. And Cameras is moving on because I'm not wasting any time. Sorry. Teenage Fever, which was, I think, a song about Jennifer Lopez. And then Fire and Desire. Yeah, Fire and Desire, definitely. That song used to make me really, really sad. I used to have to skip that song. It was a tough time. 2016 wasn't a good time for me. Club Paradise versus Forever. Club Paradise is sick, but come on, Forever being 14 is disrespectful too. Who made these matchups? Back to back, Controlla, Best I Ever Had in Sneakin' are all 16 seeds, and you got Forever at 14. Who did this? I'm beside myself. Excuse me. Summer 16 and Feel No Ways. Feel No Ways. I tried with you. I really did. Over My Dead Body versus Passion Fruit. If you know me, it had to be Passion Fruit. It had to be. And let's start from the bottom up because I already cheated. Passion Fruit versus Feel No Ways. My voice just cracked. I gotta go Feel No Ways because I was gonna do a joke and have Passion Fruit go all the way. But nah, Feel No Ways is just the better song overall. Forever versus Fire and Desire. Forever because everything on that song. We already did Cameras. Good Ones Go, or you know what it is. You know the song. From Time, and then Lord Knows, definitely Lord Knows. Nothing against From Time Chi. Jungle versus Find Your Love, the battle of the ballads, and it's not even close. One is a pop song, and then one is just makes you cry. I'm a sucker for soul samples. 0 to 100 versus The Real Her. I gotta go Real Her. I like 0 to 100, but I say that after all of them. I like it, but the other song is just naturally better. I just think the 3 Stacks and the Wayne verse put that ahead of 0 to 100 while that's such a big song. It's just not even really close. Pound Cake, Paris Morton Music 2 versus Trust Issues. You gotta go Pound Cake. I haven't even mentioned the Jay-Z feature yet, and I think the second beat, that the Paris Morton Music 2 beat, is just undefeated in most cases. So that one goes ahead. Best I Ever Had, 16, unbelievable, versus Do Not Disturb. Best I Ever Had because that was Drake with no beard and big face. All right, back over here. 5 a.m. in Toronto versus The Motto. Not even close. 5 a.m. in Toronto, I'm going to tell you now, probably is going to win, but we'll see. 10 Bands versus Headlines. Ted Bands. Yep, Ted Bands. All right, let's see here. Hate Sleeping Alone versus Too Much. Yeah, don't think about it. I'm not going to think about this one too much. Thank you, Sanfa. I'm not going to think about this one too much. I'm really not. Look What You've Done versus Days in the East. I like Days in the East, man. I do. But what the fuck do they know about Look What You've Done? Look What You've Done is just such a sad... man, I just... Thinking about those piano keys just makes me sad. Genuinely sad. Marvin's Room versus Take Care. Marvin's Room, because remember who made you cry. And Take Care did not make me cry. Anyways, Connect versus Hell Yeah Freaking Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that. That song is just so hyper. That's such a fun song. It's such a fun song. It's gonna live forever. Connect is cool, and of course you just swing. And I think the Connect has so many layers to it that was really one of my favorite songs off that album. But Hell Yeah Freaking Right is that's a banger. You can't hate on that. All of his exes lived in Texas. Never mind. I thought I just caught something, but I didn't. Free Smoke versus Know Yourself. Free Smoke. I do love Know Yourself, but like I said, Free Smoke has no business being as short as it is whatsoever. Girls Love Beyonce versus Doing It Wrong. I remember Doing It Wrong now. I probably would have picked Draft Day over it, to keep it a buck with you. But Girls Love Beyonce, of course. Of course. And if you have not checked it out, and I know nobody will, but it's just my personal taste, Jacquees, before he ever got popular, because I was early on Jacquees, had an amazing remix to that, and it was lovely. So that made that song even better for me. And plus, I couldn't have it on streaming services until he dropped that like pack thing with all the old songs on there. So absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say. Okay, so we're down to the Sweet 16, I believe. Let's start up top. 5 a.m. in Toronto versus 10 bands. 5 a.m. in Toronto. That one's actually pretty close because yeah, 5 a.m. in Toronto. He's just got so much shit to say on that song, and he really says it. Like, he really doesn't hold back. It's probably one of the more ruthless Drake songs ever. Looking back to back is not that ruthless. It's just like a kill shot, like kicking somebody while they're down type shit. Like, it's not really. Anyways, not even the point. Too Much versus Look What You've Done. Oh man, that sucks because that's one of my favorites. But it's, and there's some live videos. I think he performed it somewhere on a late night show, and that song just sounded so beautiful, and that performance was just great. So, Too Much is definitely an all timer, definitely. Marvin's Room versus Hell Yeah Freaking Right. I can't believe Controller literally didn't get past there. That's nuts to me. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, Marvin's Room's gonna take this one. I'm sorry, but again, who made you come? Free Smoke versus Girls Love Beyonce. That's tough. I'm gonna go Girls Love Beyonce though. They're two different songs, and I feel like Girls Love Beyonce is just so well fleshed out, and Free Smoke is just one of those hype up like type of songs. I don't know. You got to go Girls Love Beyonce. It's just got more depth to it. Best I Ever Had versus Pound Cake Paris Morton Music. That is a tough matchup. I'm gonna go with Pound Cake Paris Morton Music because that song is so prolific. But shout out to Best I Ever Had for putting Drake on the map, because that's a banger. That still goes crazy to this day. A lot of these songs still go crazy to this day. It's a testament to how Drake makes music. It's music that ages well. You may not like it in the moment, but it ages well. It does age well. And I always said I kind of liked Views, and now people are starting to like Views. So of course I'm right. Of course. The Real Her, the real song, versus Jungle. I gotta go Jungle. That's just, I can't, bro. I can't. And Her had a pretty good remix to it. So I feel like the remixes kind of add to the allure of the song, but sometimes it makes the original song better or worse. And I feel like the two remixes that I referenced, while they're both really good songs, it wasn't as good as the original. So the original definitely just sounds better in comparison. Compared to The Real Her, like of course that's a great song, but that's kind of in there as kind of like in the middle of the album song, and I feel like Jungle kind of set the mood for like the end of the album, and it just felt like a really emotional song. So that moves on. Now back here, Lord Knows versus Cameras. Definitely Lord Knows, because Lord Knows is a thrasher. Forever versus Feel No Ways. I'm gonna go Feel No Ways. I'm gonna go Feel No Ways, and I'm gonna do this solely based off of Drake's performance in that song, because Drake's verse on Forever is cool, like it's memorable, but it's not that great all around. And Feel No Ways is just chef's kiss, lovely. All right, let's get down to the final four, shall we? 5 a.m. in Toronto versus Too Much. That's not close. I'm sorry. 5 a.m. in Toronto goes. So that is going to be there. And Marvin's Room versus Girls Love Beyonce. These are, when it starts to not become a question, these are just classic songs that are obviously going to be in the conversation for the greatest. So those two, not really a question. Pound Cake Paris Morton music versus Jungle. That's tough, but I'm gonna go with this just because that song is so prolific and everything about it. It just caps off the end of that album so perfectly. And I think compared to Jungle, while I do really like Jungle, I feel like Jungle starts to have a couple down moments in the song where there's certain parts where the energy is just kind of down and it's low and it's not the same with Pound Cake, Paris Morton music too. It's everything you hear means something and they don't really waste a second on it. So definitely that. Lord Knows versus Feel No Ways. Damn, you're really gonna make me choose, huh? Two different songs, and this could go either way depending on what kind of Drake you like. I mean, if you really love the bars, like I really love the Drake bars. Lord Knows is one of his greatest rapping songs. I feel like his best bars are within that song. And then Feel No Ways, I feel like that's one of the greatest slow songs he's ever made. So I'm gonna go Feel No Ways. I'm gonna go Feel No Ways just because I feel like it's at the top of the singing genre, like definitely far and away, and I think that song might age a little better. But yeah, that's really close. This bracket looks a little funky, so we're gonna have to write something out here. But 5 a.m. in Toronto versus Too Much. Oh wait, no, I lied. 5 a.m. in Toronto, final four. Let me recap it. 5 a.m. in Toronto, Marvin's Room, Pound Cake Paris Morton Music 2, and Feel No Ways. So, let's see. 5 a.m. in Toronto versus Marvin's Room. I'm gonna have to give this to Marvin's Room just because it's such a classic, like all around. Like, of course, 5 a.m. in Toronto gives you the greatest bars, and it gives you an energy that you kind of miss from Drake. But Marvin's Room is just a masterpiece, and I feel like he really mastered the art of that type of song. And a lot of people really tried to make Drake-esque music based off that song. So I gotta go Marvin's Room. And I think when it gets to a point when it's between Drake, artists like Drake, artists like Kendrick, artists like Kanye, where they kind of transcend the way music sounds in a way in such a broad landscape, like the way Kanye would revolutionize music with My Dark Twisted Beautiful Fantasy. I probably got the words wrong, but the way that they transcend music with that album, I feel like gives these songs so much more weight compared to the other songs that are just phenomenal because you have made significant lasting impact that is shown with evidence from other artists. So definitely Marvin's Room. And Paris Morton Music 2 and Pound Cake versus Feel No Ways. And I think this is where Feel No Ways' beautiful run ends. I love that song. I'm probably going to listen to it after this is done, to be honest with you. Pound Cake and Paris Morton Music. Like I said, there's really just, I feel like getting Drake and Jay-Z on that particular beat just is, it's a cheat code. It really is a cheat code. So I really have to, I got to give it respect for that. All right, so the championship round, just listen to me. Pound Cake Paris Morton Music 2 versus Marvin's Room. Ooh. I made a list of top 10 Drake songs. I'll put that in the end cap of the video. But when I did make this list, I know 5 a.m. in Toronto was the number one song. I do know that, but I might have to revisit this list and think about it because when they structure it like this and you put this song against that song, you kind of start to pick out the differences. Obviously two completely different songs, and I feel like this is like the pinnacle of both of the genres that Drake has mastered, which is the R&B side and the rap side. Obviously it helps that you have Jay-Z on this song, of course, but I'm gonna have to give it to Marvin's Room solely based off the fact that it's just Drake, and that while Pound Cake Paris Morton Music was a great song, and there's absolutely no misses on that song whatsoever. Like I said, Marvin's Room changed the way a lot of people tried to make slow ballads. They tried to make it off Marvin's Room, and it's something that Drake even hasn't necessarily done better than to this point. So Apparently, the greatest Drake song is Marvin's Room. You guys want to watch me spell Marvin's Room via keyboard or mouse key? Yeah, Marvin's. That should have been a Z. Room. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Baby. Oh, it doesn't even let me give it a smile. All right. So, Marvin's Room is by default the greatest Drake song ever. Let me know how you feel in the comments, what you would have put ahead of whatever I put ahead, what you feel is the greatest song, what you disagreed with, what you did agree with. Let me know. Give me other suggestions for other people to do because I love these. These are really fun and it kind of makes you think about the artist in terms of the grand scheme a little more. So, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. You know what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Bye.